We're going to start with a roster move before we play a pivotal game against the Padres. We're going to call up Mark Winchester. Look at what he's been doing in AAA. Absolutely killing left-handed pitching. You've seen a 15 double, 17 home runs, 50 RBI basically in 85 games. Triple slash numbers on point, 3.5 WAR. We are going to be moving up Winchester. We're going to be dropping down Ralphie Velasquez, who hasn't played terrible, but we think that we can get more overall value with Winchester up, Velasquez down right now. Yes, he is a worse defender, but we have Drew Romo. Basically, we're going to be DHing him against left-handed pitching, trying to help out. Again, we're banged up a little bit right now, but I think this is going to be a very big move for us. So Velasquez, we sent down to AAA, and that is how we're going to do. We're seeing the debut of Mark Winchester in this upcoming game. All right, so with that news out of the way, Mark Winchester is up. He will be making his Major League debut in Petco Park as we take on the San Diego Padres. We're 61-51. They're 64-48. We are trying to catch them in the standings, and I would love to be able to make up some ground here as we take on one of our division rivals. And here's the rest of the standings. NL West, a decent buffer between us and Arizona. Obviously, LA, San Francisco towards the bottom, but realistically a far ways away, but not completely out of it yet. San Diego, a nice 3 games above us, and it also hurts that they've gained those 3 games over the last 10 days. Dylan Lesko, 8-5 record, 4.50 ERA. Let's see what he has in store for us today. Also striking out about 21% of batters on average, usually. Nolan Jones, 1-1 count. He's going to lace a ball into right field, and Tatis will be there to make the catch. So a 1, 2, 3 inning for Lesko and the Dads of San Diego. See what we can do to combat that. On the bump for us today will be J.J. Rose. Having not the best of seasons this year, it's been okay, but we definitely think that he has way more in the tank than this. 121 strikeouts in 123 innings with 4.61 ERA. Just hasn't quite lived up to what he was when he first got up here and when he dominated in the playoffs. Going to beat Ha-Seong Kim with a fastball there for the first strikeout and the first out of the afternoon. Then Ezequiel Tovar getting dirty and robbing Luis Matos of a hit. Look at that. Some big defense early on in this one. And Ezequiel Tovar, our Gold Glove shortstop, has won multiple times with us, and he's on the squad for a few more years too. I'm sure we're going to get a whole lot of Zeke Tovar just being a badass. And then finally, to cap off the inning, it is Rose getting solace with a nasty slider. So no hits for us, no hits for them as we move on in this one. First inning has come to a close. Tommy Domine in the top of the second inning is going to bloop one into center field as a dive. It's going to get by the center fielder, but no advance by Domine as the left fielder there to back him up with Lane Thomas out there in left field today. Yanquiel Fernandez, he's going to lace one into the gap. This will drop, and Domine fast enough, I think, to score here. I do know that Tatis has a hell of an arm into Ha-Seong Kim. The 3-lay throw into home plate, not in time. Safe as Domine. And Yanquiel Fernandez with a double, his 18th of the season, and just took that ball right where it needed to go and drives in the first run of the ball game. Mark Winchester making his MLB debut right here, 1-2 count. Watch ball 2, which Lesko rightly deserves to be a little ticked off by that because that was easily in the zone. A missed call that Winchester is going to try to capitalize on. 2-2, it's up, and he gets the curveball hanging, but just beats it into the ground off of the body of Lesko, who's able to keep it in time. and toss it over to first base. So only Yanquiel Fernandez drives in a run. We do have 2 hits that inning, do score that run, and we have a small lead over San Diego at the moment. Bottom of the inning, and Marcelo Meyer, he is going to get on and be the first base runner for the Padres. So he is on base with 2 outs in the second inning, and that's the first hit of the game for them. Trent Grisham, 306 average, doing very well since going back to San Diego. Old friend alert, he gets struck out, and we will strand that runner at first base. So another big strikeout for J.J. Rose. I believe that's his 5th through 2 innings or something like that. He was feeling it early. Ethan Salas coming back for revenge, though. He's going to tie this ball game right on up after getting struck out in the first inning. He's not going to strike out there for sure. And he goes deep 450 feet. Yeah, that is hit pretty hard. And he knew it right away. Everyone knew it right away. And that is going to be the first run of the ball game for the Padres. Marcelo Meyer, he's already gotten Rose once. He's going to get him a second time. This time, a deep fly ball and a home run for the former Red Sox top prospect, Marcelo Meyer. Very funny. Red Sox fan, we were told, you know what, get rid of Bogarts because we're going to have Marcelo Meyer up here. And now the Padres have both of them, like we should. Lovely. Okay. Still more damage to do here for the Padres as Trent Grisham is going to go the other way and lace this one into the gap. So a couple extra base hits here in the 4th inning. Things starting to come a little bit undone for J.J. Rose and the Rockies. And they'll hold on the brakes at second base. Grisham with a double. Xander Bogaerts. He goes into right field. Nolan Jones picks it up. He fires it home. The throw is well in time, but Winchester picked it up on the wrong side of the bag. Not Winchester's fault, but it did not get to the right side of the bag in a 3-run inning for the Padres as Bogaerts and Myers, the shortstops of the now and the future for the Red Sox, now the now and now for the Padres. Stone Garrett brought in to face the lefty, and he will fly out. So finally the bleeding stops in the 4th, not before the Padres rally for 3 in that inning. 2 home runs and a single by my favorite player. In the 6th inning now, still a 3-1 score. Andrew Martinez in the game now as Lesko had a high pitch count. We chased him early, and Nolan Jones is going to go down swinging there. A pretty nasty slider gets Jones to strike out. Jazz Chisholm 0 for 2 on the day, looking for revenge on his teammate Nolan Jones. See what Martinez has. He has a pitch right down the middle. You don't throw that to Jazz Chisholm, especially. Sinker demolished into the stands in right field, and Jazz Chisholm cuts this lead down 458 feet for his 28th of the year, so a little bit better than Ethan Salas's, so one-upping the young star for the Padres. Again, I think he's going to be free agent eligible this year. Still 24 years old. His major league debut at 18. He's a stud. No, here comes the closer. It is closing time. Brian Abreu is the one to come out and do it. So it's still a 3-2 game as we head into the 9th inning. And Abreu, 33 for 36. We've seen him on the graphics plenty of times before. Obviously, our friend Calderon having a great season as he has. We've seen these two names the whole year. Domine pops it up after Chisholm walks, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Padres looking to win this one here at home and further themselves from the Rockies. Fernandez, 1 for 3 on the day. That produced a double and produced a run. Slider left, middle, and Yanquiel just missed it. And that should have been our lead. That should have been landing in Sacramento, but no. It goes not as far as you would have thought. Tovar's a little bit early on another hanging breaking ball. He pulls it into left field, but doesn't have enough juice on it to get out, and that will ultimately be the game as the Padres hang on and win and beat the Rockies, again, furthering distancing themselves. It would be super nice if I could talk. I talk for a living, and it would be nice if I could do it good. Who knows? Nolan Gorman leading off today with Stephen Kwan on the shelf. He did not have a great day. Dominic did have 2 of our 4 hits, but offense not the vocal point here. No one did terrible for our pitching staff, but obviously not enough to help out there. 7 hits for the Padres. They all got all those runs in that 4th inning. Gresham with a double, the home runs as well. Lesko 4 2/3. He had 6 strikeouts, and then the bullpen came in. Little, Vesia, and Abreu shut it down. Here we are against the Arizona Diamondbacks, the team that we're trying to keep a buffer in between. And that's a pop-up by Vidal Brujan, and he will fly out for the 2nd out of the inning. We lead 3-2. Tommy Troy, 0 for 3 on the day, make it 0 for 4. Tovar goes the short way to Amador, and that will do it. So we do pick up a win against the Diamondbacks, which is good to see. And we add just another game ahead of them. And all these games, especially coming down to the wire against those wild card teams, especially against those NL West teams, they're going to start mattering more and more and more. We would lead the series to nothing. We are facing the Padres yet again. Jazz Chisholm and Brian Abreu facing off. Last time it was a walk. This one, intentional walk. So they're going to load the bases up. They're not going to let Chisholm beat them. And here's Yanquiel Fernandez, a guy who can easily win this game for us. Even just a high pop-up is all we need. Can he deliver? A ground ball screws us mightily. Fly ball is what we need. It's down the middle. He puts a good swing on it. This is high enough. Going back is the center fielder. He's under it. We have speed at third base. Coming around to score. And the Rockies hold on and win. Stephen Kwan is back. And he is the leading run. The winning run for us today. As we do beat the San Diego Padres, which is lovely, lovely, lovely to see. And we win it. Doesn't even need extras, but the Colorado Rockies strike again. And we down at the Padres and get that game back that we lost. So again, still behind them in the standings, but doing a decent job here, pulling off the victory against the Padres. And we win that series 2-1, which definitely. With the success of our team and how we've progressed over the last few years, coming off a World Series, we are going to be giving Adael Amador a 7-year, $152+ million contract. If you look at the year he's been having, already career high in doubles, already basically about to hit his career high in home runs, already a career high in RBIs, closing in on walks. Obviously, the triple slash lines are all career bests. He has been probably our best player this year, already closing in on his WAR total of last year, which was awesome, walking a little bit more, striking out a little bit more, really tapping into the power this year. This is a guy we want around for quite a long time. He was an all-star this past year, has one more year of arbitration, but we're going to forego that and buy up his first few years of free agency, at least until he's 31. Does have a player option here if he wants to exercise it, but we are locking in Adael Amador for just about $22 million a season. Again, we're going to have to be doing some budget runarounds. We don't have too much money coming off the books this year. As of right now, we are still operating under that $130 million budget we need for our team. I don't know if a good playoff run, a good run would extend that. But we're locking it in, and we have a deal for Adael Amador. I cannot wait to see how this contract plays out. So yes, we did sign Adael Amador to a big extension, and we have locked up one of our homegrown talents, and now it seems like we play them every single year after we took their 2 superstars. It's the Miami Marlins coming to town. Marlins, another not quite in the wild card race with us, but a team that We always love this storyline of taking their former guys. They have some of our former guys. We've traded with them. Zach Dean coming back home for the first time. I don't believe he played in this game, but either way, Bud Leonard, 12-6 record, 4.36 ERA, trying to be the ace for us. He gets a big strikeout on Jordan Westbrook. Let's watch this changeup one more time. This thing was filthy. Tosses it in, dies in front of Westberg's bat, and that was just an absolute nuts pitch from Bud Leonard. Geraldo Perdomo, the guy that they signed to come here and play shortstop for him, he pops it up to center field, and Kwan fights the rain and pulls it in for the out. So we have a clean first inning. And it's Colorado trying to put some runs on the board. They're going to have to do it against Trevor Rogers, the lefty, a 4.51 ERA, 9-12 record on the year. And he's been okay. Obviously, 4.5 ERA, that's kind of more back of the rotation type numbers, but they have a pretty good rotation still. And Stephen Kwan is going to take that third pitch he sees and just misses a home run by a couple of feet. He's going to be 90 feet away as he gets all the way into third base with a triple. Fastball on the top edge, he just sent into right field, and already 4 triples for him. Again, missed a decent chunk of time due to some injury. Nolan Jones up now, and just a ground ball to the right side gets the job done, and that's exactly what happens. Manny Dominguez is there to pick it up, and Jones scores the first run for the Rockies. Mark Winchester DHing against the lefties into right field, and Jesus Sanchez, not the best. He probably should be DHing. Not the best fielder out there. Allows Winchester to get to second base. They are going to call that a double. So the second double of the career of Mark Winchester. Jazz Chisholm with that runner on second base puts this one in center field. Center fielder is on. Coming around is Winchester. Not the fastest. He is in there, though, with the gold oven mitt, and Chisholm makes this a 2-0 affair. Right back up the middle, just caught the barrel of the bat. And that will do it for the Rockies in that inning. Victor Mesa Jr., he's going to get the first hit of the game for the Marlins, and the Fish are going to have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the second. He beats Bud Leonard with a double down the left field line, his 23rd of the season. Zach McKinstry, 280 hitter. That average going down. Jazz Chisholm is there to put it away on the liner, and no one comes around to score for the Marlins as the Rockies hang on to the lead. Fernandez, Gorman, Romo due up. Nothing happens between those trio, and it's Jordan Westberg again to start things off, and this time he is going to learn his lesson and put that ball into play. Kwan just outside of his reach, and he is in there for a triple. So now both leadoff hitters today have a triple in this game. And the Marlins are dangerously close to striking. Manny Dominguez just needs a hit, and he will not get it. Stephen Kwan coming in and doing just fine out there. The former Gold Glover is going to pick up the out, and that does it for the inning. Dale Amador comes up in the 5th inning, and now the rich man gets another double over to right. Just hit the ball to right field. Jesus Sanchez cannot get it. Amador probably could have got 3 if he wanted to, but they're going to settle for a double, his 40th of the season. We're not even in September yet. Winchester ever beats the circle change into the ground after Nolan Jones gets out, and that will do it. No, nothing coming of the double from Amador. But 40 doubles is nuts. That's just a very fun number to have. Geraldo Perdomo is going to put this one in the left field. Chisholm under it, and they're going to go the short way. They're going to concede the run as Leonard getting into a little bit of a jam here in the 6th inning. Now 2 runners on. Faces off against Jesus Sanchez, who's probably cost them at least a run today, and the perfect hit and run as speed, not that much speed on second base, is able to trek around and score. And Bud Leonard needs a ground ball bad. Brendan Rodgers won't give him a ground ball, but will strike out. So, big Rockies guy, Brendan Rodgers, we know that. And Victor Mesa Jr., he slashes it to Gorman, who puts the glove out. and finishes the job. So a couple runs off a couple hits for the Marlins in the 6th inning, but still ahead are the Rockies. Actually, no, tied now are the Rockies. Jazz Chisholm gets a lot of this one. This one's high, this one's deep, and it's going to rattle in between the center fielder and the wall. Almost made an incredible catch. Chisholm will hold up at third base, and a lead-off triple. Love to see that. And everyone's fired up, and now we have 3 outs to get him home. Ezequiel Tovar trying to do it in less than 3 outs, and still actually going to do it with no outs. Actually, an incredible play by Westberg. And the run does come across the score, so we've got 2 runs today off a triple, then a ground out to second base. I guess that works. In the 7th inning, Tovar airmails this one. Tried to make an incredible play. A play that he usually makes, but just put too much sauce on that one. And 3-2 count. Leonard gets out of the 7th inning. He's done a fantastic job tonight. That's probably going to be it for him as we head into the bottom of the 7th. Adele Amador now facing Thomas White. And Amador, that's a hanger. Puts it in the left field. Adele Amador scores. Adele Amador, show me the money. Why don't you? The newly paid Adele Amador. Probably should have got it done a lot sooner than we did, but we ended up hammering it out. Anyway, it is what it is, but he's going to be in Rockies purple for a good long time. He's going to be doing this for a good long time. Brought Garrett Crochet in for the 8th, and he just makes mincemeat out of the lineup of the Marlins. Keeps this one a 4-2 ball game as we head into the 9th inning. And it's going to be Calderon time. And everyone get out your Marlboro Reds. It is time to sweat this one out a little bit. It's never an easy time when he comes up. I'm definitely thinking that we're going to be needing a different closer next year. Does have almost 40 saves, and the numbers don't look too bad, but lefties are hitting them really well for some reason. Brandon Rogers, not a lefty. Brandon Rogers not hitting him well, and that makes sense. And that's out number 1 for Calderon and the Rockies. Victor Mesa Jr. with Zach McKinstry on deck, and it's like that. Like I said, someone always gets on. And for a guy that we thought was just going to limit base runners, not going to strike you out, but he's going to limit base runners. That's what the promise was, and he just hasn't done that. He's a good reliever, solid reliever. I'm not sure how much longer he can be our closer. He could be a really good lefty in our bullpen, but just hasn't had the goods. And he does get the ground out here. Gorman applies the tag, thought about going to second, goes to first anyway, and good thing there wasn't that much speed running that way. And the Rockies do pull out the win against the Marlins, a team that they probably should be beating. So love to see that we did that. Got the win against a team that we should be getting the win against. And we improve. Actually, we lose this series, or we are losing the series 2-1. So it's nice that we were able to get a win and kind of stop the bleeding. And as we're spiraling just a little bit here in September, or August, excuse me. 7 hits, 7 strikeouts total for the Marlins. They had 2 extra base hits, the Victor Mesa double and the Jordan Westbrook triple. Grounding and double play by Victor Montoya sealed the deal. Rogers was fine. Thomas White gave up some runs out of the bullpen. For the Rockies, 8 hits, just 6 strikeouts. They did pretty good. They had multiple multiple triples, multiple doubles, and a home run, so 5 extra base hits. He had 5 different RBI guys for all, or 4 different RBI guys for all 4 runs. And again, bullpen did not give up a run in their 2 innings of work. Stephen Kwan, as we have the last game of this series against the Marlins, and he is going to put this one into right field, and he is going to give us at least 1 run. And we're trying to avoid the loss here, trying to split this 4-game series with Miami as Kwan fired up about that. Brings up Adele Amador. 1-0 count with Marcelo Jimenez, one of the best young closers in the game, popped up. And that will put it away for out number 2. Now with 2 down, they're actually going to change pitchers. They're going to bring in Steven Wilson, who has been great out of the bullpen and not allowing runners, but has given up some runs. 23 holds in 29 games. They're going to charge him with Jazz Chisholm, who swings at a ball that hits him. And we lose that way. We drop a big series against the Marlins, and series we should have won, and we can't. August has come and gone. We sit 73 and 63. Had a little tough spurt here towards the end. Overall, still 10 games over 500. Here's what the rest of our month looks like. Before we get into that, let's check out the standings and see where we're at. We're 2.5 games behind the Padres for the West. Again, this team has never won the National League West, so we are looking for our first ever division title. It might be this year. Right now, we are tied with the Brewers. We're basically a half game behind the Brewers for the top wild card spot. If you look at this, we have scored 3 more runs and we have allowed a whole lot less. So on paper, I think we are the better team. The Reds are also there, kind of in that vicinity. Diamondbacks, Cubs on that outside end looking in. But we just take care of business. We are guaranteed at least, again, another top wild card spot. Looking around the league while we're here, Rays look like they are leading in the very weak American League East, where they are 500 and everyone else is below it. The Twins and the Royals are battling out for the Central. The Guardians are in the mix as well, even though a little bit more behind. The Twins ran away with everything last year. Right now look like they're still maybe on paper the best team in the league. Astros are kind of in that same camp as the Twins, but more like what the Twins were last year. Really, really good team with a bunch of teams that are really struggling to get a leg up. But you look at this, the second and the 5th place team in this division separated by just 3 games. So this could be a really, really fun division to look out for, and especially with looking at these records, are they even in a wild card spot? That's basically the chase for that third wild card spot. Royals Guardians have it basically not locked up, but they have a nice little footing against everybody else. And it's the Tigers, Mariners, Angels, Rangers, and the Athletics all bumping heads for that last spot. National League, Phillies up over the Nationals by quite a bit. Pirates really are the cream of the crop this year. See, the Brewers are basically where we are in standing, and they are 11.5 games behind the Pirates. They have that division all but locked up. They just need to avoid 2011 September Red Sox level disaster to claim that title. And you obviously know how good our division is, but the Dodgers starting to fall off a little bit. But again, we're chasing the Padres. Looking at just some award races, we're going to look at over just the important ones quick. Here's what everyone is looking like in terms of leaders, in terms of the major awards. Paul Skeens is really, really fun, coming almost about to enter his contract year. Really the first year he's put it all together, and it's insanity what he's been able to do. Rhett Lauder and Dylan Cease there as well. My boy Sherwood Winchester, the GOAT. He is in the lead for the batting title right now by a decent margin as well. Reliever of the year, Jose Hernandez, has been absolutely rock solid his entire tenure in Pittsburgh and really having a really, really good year as a first full-time closer. And Michael Chen with James Mora looking like having a much better season than his first go-around. 188 strikeouts, 162 innings, a 4.39 ERA has been extremely, extremely, extremely solid. The WAR has been in a good place. Strikeouts per 9 has been awesome. He is right now third. Cam Collier is there, and Michael Chen, who finally was toiling in the minor leagues, has had an incredible rookie season. Basically, his rookie season is what Adael Amador has been doing this year, if you need reference. American League side, we'll go backwards. Jack Barger is Rookie of the Year favorite. Dexter Ross, being that super high-profile prospect, had a better first cup of coffee than his first full season, but still really, really, really good. Jose Alvarado looks like he is head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of at least saves So the Royals have had a lot of good closers the last few years, and Jose Alvarado just slides in as another one in that lineage. So Jackson Holliday is going to get paid this year, maybe more than anybody ever in the history of ever. Like, look at these numbers over the last few seasons, especially this year, and these numbers right here, doubles, home runs, like what he's putting up, RBIs, that's what he's been doing in total seasons. He only played, this is 25, 30 games less than he's played all these seasons, or already has basically matched or has come close to those. Jackson Holliday is the fucking truth, dude. Davis Schneider, more big contact guy. Brooks Lee, pretty good in his own right. Grayson Rodriguez, who's entering a contract year as well. He's right now the league favorite for the Cy Young, even though it probably should be Taj Bradley also in his contract year. A 2.25 ERA, 163 strikeouts, and 160 innings. Just also absolutely craziness with him, and Rodriguez and Christian Javier has been cool too. And it's always going to be Jackson Holliday. Wyatt Langford also in the MVP race, and Jace Young in the MVP race as well. In September call-ups, we're bringing up Marco Garcia. This is what he's done in the minor league so far. 15 starts. We've had him down there for 100 innings. He's looked very, very solid. Hopefully he can turn this around. He has not been good in his limited time in a Rockies uniform. 271 innings, 5.15 ERA. It was really bad this year, but we are moving him up to the major leagues to be in the bullpen. And then we're also going to bring up Heriberto Hernandez. This is what he's done in AAA this year. He's been up and down a couple of different times. Obviously, breaking in 6 games for us. He hasn't been great, but offers some versatility, and he will be up. Just for some injury guys to check out on, we're looking at Juan Guerrero. He's still on the shelf for a little bit. He might be back this month, not guaranteed, however. If he is, then Heriberto Hernandez probably goes down and Guerrero stays up. But that is what we are looking at for September call-ups. And finally, just a quick look down the lineup, see where we are batting-wise this season and pitching-wise this season. We have a big push coming up. I can't wait for it. It's going to be very exciting. September is going to be nuts. Again, it's a dogfight. We're going to be in it, and I'm very excited. We're looking to repeat as champions this year, and I think we have the squad to do it. Everyone's pitching well, basically, other than Bobby White at this point in time. The bullpen has been extremely, extremely, extremely solid. I'm excited to see what we got. So if you are excited, also, again, I told you we're going to look at some of these series. Important series coming up. We have finish off the series against Baltimore. They aren't too great. Hopefully we can win some of those. Atlanta in that same ballpark. Detroit in that same ballpark. Milwaukee's going to be a big series. Chicago, they're a good team too. Even though they're kind of out of it a little bit, they're still really good. Arizona, we have them on our heels. Los Angeles hasn't been the team that they have been. So look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These last 9 games of the season are going to be big. So to begin the season, to end the season, we have not a cakewalk, but we have some lower-ended teams. It's these middle series. Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, and Arizona all fighting for playoff spots that might give us issues. But we'll see you next time here with the Colorado Rockies. I'm excited. You're excited. We're going to get to the postseason pretty soon. Are we going to win our first division title ever? Who knows? You have to stay tuned.